on, guys? It's Justin. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. In this video, I'm going to answer the question, how do I motivate myself? How do I get myself to be motivated? How do I get myself to take action? Where do I get motivation? Where does motivation come from? How do I get myself to do things? I know what I should be doing, but I don't do it, right? This is very, very common. Almost everybody feels this way. And so I think this is a good video and a really important one to answer those questions, right? So I'm gonna break this down into 3 parts. So the first thing we wanna think about to answer this question is, okay, well, what is it that motivates human beings to take action, right? And luckily, it turns out that the same way we motivate ourselves is the same way that we motivate others. So for my salespeople, this will be good also, and business people, but for everybody else, this goes for ourselves too, right? So there's 3 parts. First part, future benefit. You to get yourself to take action on whatever it is you're wanting yourself to take action on, it has to be big enough and clear enough and exciting enough that it kind of pulls you. It makes you want to go for it, right? If the most you ever made is $30,000 a year and, this year you want to make, $30,500, then it's not going to excite you very much, right? It's kind of like, it's not going to pull you. But let's say you've made $30,000 or $40,000 a year and this year you want to make 100, or you made 100 and you want to make 300, or you made 300 and you want to make 1,000,000 or whatever, then it's like, oh, okay, that's exciting. I can get excited about that. That pulls me. So it's got to be big enough and clear enough and exciting enough, your future benefit, that it pulls you, right? So when we're working on getting ourselves to take action, the better our future benefit is, the more we max out that category, the more that's really exciting to us, the more likely that we take action, the more likely we do whatever it is that we need to be doing that we're probably not doing, right? Most of us. Sometimes me too, right? Sometimes me too. So the second category is current dissatisfaction. Right? So this one, guys, is actually way more important, believe it or not, than the future benefit. And let me explain why in a more biological or neurological sense, right? So human beings' brains have always been wired to stay alive. And the neocortex, the kind of front and the thinking part of our brain, actually didn't evolve. So I think it was something like 200,000 years ago. So for a very, very long time, our brain was just controlled by what they say is like the lizard brain. I think it's the limbic brain, where it's like, okay, I need to reproduce, I need to survive, I need to eat, I need shelter, I need to eat, I need these basic things, right? And so all of the calculations that our mind was making is to survive. So to survive, what do? We get away from fear. So if something looks scary to us, or like it might jeopardize our chance of surviving, or jeopardize our chance of mating or eating or sleeping or whatever basic things we have to do to continue to live and to have our kids be passed down to the generations, right? If it's something that scares us, our brain is designed to get away from that. And for almost the whole time that human beings have been around, that's how our brain has functioned. And so I can go into this in another video, but the 80-20 rule, guys, says 80% of our results come from 20% of our efforts. A lot of people believe it's more like 90-10. 90% of your results come from 10% of your efforts. This can be applied to a ton of things. I believe that we can apply it to this also. So for your dissatisfaction, this is my opinion. I don't know if other people believe this too, but I find this to be true. 80 to 90% of getting yourself to do something or getting others to do something is understanding the dissatisfaction. Look at sales, right? Let's say you sell something, a product or service. If the person has 0 dissatisfaction, they're 1,000% good exactly where they're at, it's gonna be tough, right? Because they're just not even really a prospect because they don't have any dissatisfaction. But if they have a lot of dissatisfaction, let's say you're a realtor and you want to sell somebody a home and you find out that that person's about to be evicted, and if they don't close on a home in 60 days, they're absolutely screwed. That's high dissatisfaction, right? So yes, their future benefit, oh, it'd be nice to have a new home, but the current dissatisfaction is like, shit, I'm about to be evicted. I got to do something. Survival part of the brain, right? So we want to max out that second category of current dissatisfaction. So we want to get ourselves to do something. We want to think, okay, cool. So how can I put myself in a lot of discomfort where I'm like, man, this is not okay for me to stay here, right? I'm not okay with things being like this anymore. I can't handle that any longer, right? And you absolutely refuse to stay there, and it gets so uncomfortable, kind of like you need to jump out of fire, right? So we want to max out the current dissatisfaction by thinking about, okay, well, how problematic is it if we stay where we're at? And the better your future benefit is, and you measure against your current dissatisfaction, and you say, man, well, I'm guaranteed to never have this, and I said I have to have this, so then your dissatisfaction goes up, and then you're more likely to do something, right? And then part 3, the final piece, is time. So with time, what's the problem of why most of us don't do the things that we know that we should be doing, right? Business, personal, go do the prospecting, go say hi to the girl or the guy. We don't do it because we have time, right? We have time, and we're whatever age we are now, and we think we've got a bunch of years and we can always do it later. So when time is in abundance, that's a problem, right? We don't get ourselves to take action. So what we want to do in that category, instead of maximizing it, right? Because maximizing it's already the problem, is we want to contract time. So let's say, for example, you're trying to get yourself to do something. Say you want to make $100,000. Like, but I could, do that another year, do that a couple years down the line, stay in this career for a couple more years, whatever, make that money later. And enjoy my life more later, but I'm okay. I can always make 100 later. Don't necessarily have to make it right now, right? But let's say instead of having 10 years, turns out you have 5 years to live, and you just find that out. Somebody tells you it happens to be true. It's a doctor that knows everything in the world, right? He's got, hey, you've got 5 years to live, or hey, you've got 5 months to live. You'll be going into hyper mode, right? Because when time is contracted, what else happens? Dissatisfaction rises, right? Dissatisfaction rises. Oh shit, I gotta do something. I gotta do something because I'm running out of time. If I run out of time, I'm really in trouble. So I guess since I don't have all the time that I thought, I gotta take an action, right? So guys, these are the three kind of levers that we play with to get ourselves to do anything and to get anybody else to do anything. So whatever it is that you're thinking of, that you're trying to get yourself to do, whether it's a professional thing, whether it's a personal thing, whether it's go to the gym, whether it's talk to the guy or the girl, whether it's to sell more houses or sell whatever more product or service you have, or start the business instead of working in your job that you don't want to be in, right? Whenever we're trying to get ourselves to do anything, these are the three pieces. So to go over them again, the three pieces are future benefit, current dissatisfaction, and time. So what do we want to do? We want to max out future benefit, get as clear and big and exciting a future benefit as possible that it pulls us like, oh my gosh, I have to take action. It's pulling me, right? You've made $200,000 or $300,000, you want to make $1 million. That's going to pull you. That's going to be exciting, right? That's be like, man, how would I do that? How would I make $1 million in a year, let's say? And then current dissatisfaction, right? Shit, well, I said I really want this. I'm not really okay with this being anymore. Well, what if it always stays this way? No, I can't have that. Oh, that's a really uncomfortable thought. Oh, dissatisfaction rises, and then collapse time, right? Maybe you don't have 40 years or 30 years or 20 or 10. Maybe you've got like 2 or 3 or 4 years. Maybe you've got less. Honestly, we really don't know. We're always calculating, just making some guess of how much time we think we have, which God willing, you do have a lot of time, God willing, I have a lot of time too, but we really don't know, right? So when people say, hey Justin, how do I get motivated? How do I get myself to do things? Oh my gosh, I just can't get myself to take action, blah, blah, blah. The reason they can't, or the reason that you can't, or the reason that for the times that I can't either, right? I'm still a human being. I'm on my own journey just like you guys. It's a matter of a problem with these three levers that we play with. So look at your levers, really work on each of those. Really work on, okay, how do I really want things to be going? That's gotta be exciting enough that it pulls you. How problematic is that if you don't get it? Work on raising your dissatisfaction. How frustrated would you be if you just stayed on the same path and you have a year or 2 or 3 instead of 20 or 30 or 40 or 50, right? Play with those levers, and guys, you will find that you will be able to get yourself to do stuff. This is the way human beings take action. You can apply this to sales and business as well, but this is how you get yourself to do stuff. This is how you get yourself to be motivated. This is how you get yourself to take action. This is how you get yourself to do things you don't want to do, by playing with those three things. Again, future benefit, current dissatisfaction, and time. So guys, I hope that helps. Work on playing with those three levers. It's a pleasure as always. Lots of love. I'll see you in the next video. Peace.